Alright, so part 2, how I actually got the vehicle and what I did to get my lease and why I chose specifically a lease. Whew, it's going to be a lot. Okay, get y'all something to drink because I just had to get me something to drink because I'm a little like, ugh. Okay, so I was looking for vehicles for about, I would say about 8 months. Thoroughly looking, trying to pick a vehicle, trying to decide what I like. I'm personally very picky on body styles and how things look. I like things to be aesthetically pleasing. So if there's one thing, for example, a Jeep Cherokee, the headlights of that vehicle just irk my nerves. Like the little skinny, and they're actually the daytime running lights, I believe. I don't believe they're the actual headlight, but the little skinny, like, ugh. I looked at that car. It's a nice car with those headlights. Okay, so anyways, so I was looking, you know, I tried a few places. I had my credit pulled a few times. Even though I knew I didn't have credit, I had it pulled to see if maybe somebody would take me or if maybe something would work. I guess I was hoping for the best outcome. And if you have your credit pulled when you don't have credit, it really does not affect you in the long run. It'll show on your credit report, it will show you have a hard inquiry, but it will not affect your credit score because there's nothing for them to pull, if that makes sense. So if you don't have credit and you would like to try to get a vehicle, or you would like to be a co-signer and your mom could be the main, because if you don't have credit, you cannot be the main. You cannot, no, you would your mom would have to be the main, or your dad or your grandpa. You would have to be the co-signer, and then you would be eligible to receive credit from the auto loan. That's the second way you can do it. If you don't want to get a credit card, if you're scared you can't pay for it, which, I mean, if you can pay for a car, I don't know how you pay for a credit. Okay, so, so your mom or dad or somebody could be the main person on the lease or the finance. You could co-sign. You will be receiving credit from that co-sign. So that's the second option. We thought about it. I really wanted to be the main person on my vehicle personally. So I was looking. I went to Fields Jeep Dodge Ram. I went to Mercedes. I went to just everything, right? I went to Greenway. If you live in the Florida area, you probably know all these dealerships. I went to Nissan. I went to Hyundai. I went to everywhere. Mazda, everything, right? Everybody's like, nope, we can't do it. Nope, we can't do it. Nope, 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 no. So then finally I was like, you know what? I'm done looking. I took like a 3-month hiatus and I stopped looking. I stopped even Googling cars, so it was not in my head. So I was not depressing myself, because at one point I was very depressed. Not depressed, but I was very like frustrated. Yeah, that's a better word. Frustrated. Because I couldn't understand how do they want you to get a car and start credit, and how do they want you to do things, but nobody will let you do it. It's just like when you graduate college with your criminal degree, but to go into criminology, you have to have experience. But it's like, how do I get experience if nobody will give me the chance? So I stopped looking. It came to the point where I was about 1 month out from my credit being visible. So I went out and I started looking again. I was stuck on the 2017 Mazda CX-5s. I loved the new body style. I loved the nose of the vehicle. It was so classy looking to me. Mazda is a great option because for about the same price as a Jeep, a base-end Jeep and a loaded Mazda are the same price. They're both about $30,000. You can get a Mazda CX-5 base-end for about $22,000, which is awesome. The sport model, it is really nice, but for me, which I know in my car video, I did not end up with power seats. But in the beginning, power seats were like a huge thing for me. I was like, I'm short, my dad is tall, my mom is medium. If we all are driving it, or if my dad moves it, he needs to move my seat, and then I have to move my seat, and it's like, oh. So I wanted power seats, so I stepped up from Mazda, went from the Sport to the Touring, and then a Grand Touring. So I was looking at the Touring, middle of the road, about $26,000, and we were playing with numbers, and what you need to do is when you're trying to decide on a vehicle, instead of pulling your credit every time, you need to go in there, talk to a show person, have them show you the car, test drive it, always test drive it. Even if you're underage, you can test drive it as long as your parents are in the car, as long as the driver is in the car, the show person is in the car. You can test drive it, okay? They will let you, I promise. If they tell you no, they're lying, bye, go to another dealership. So, I mean, it might be different in every state. I live in Florida. In Florida, we can do it. I don't know about, like, Virginia. They're pretty serious in Virginia. My sister lived there, and, like, everything's serious up there. So what you do is you ask for mock numbers, and what they'll do is they'll make ideal numbers for a normal middle of the line credit score. They'll take a normal APR, which is usually about 5, 6, 7%. They'll take that and they'll make you mock numbers, fake numbers. So this would be maybe what you're looking at. So they'll give you a price range of, let's say, for 72 months, which is about a normal finance time. That's like 5 years. There's like a hair on my face and I don't know where it is. They'll say, okay, so for 72 months, you're looking at between $460 and $480 a month. And they'll give you that $20 gap because they can't ensure that you'll be at the $460 because your credit score could be below what we estimated on. So you'll be more towards the $480. So they give you estimates as fake numbers, and go to every dealership and do that. Literally right around, there's auto malls and stuff. Like, for example, we have the Daytona Auto Mall, and there's every dealership down there. Fields over in Sanford for us has every dealership. So you just want to go to everywhere and honestly keep your mind open. For me, at one point, I got really closed-minded. I was like, no, I want this, I want this, I want this, and I'm not settling. And finally, I was like, you know what, Rebecca? You might have to settle. Like, you might have to. So you want to get a bunch of mock numbers, sleep on it. Never buy a car the same day you get numbers. Never. Because you could go home and something just like clicks. You're like, but wait, how about da-da-da? But wait, that doesn't make sense. So you always want to sleep on it. My dad has always told us that. It always ends up bettering situations for us when we sleep on it. So go home, get mock numbers, look them over, talk to your parents, talk to your siblings, talk to your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever you need to talk to kind of just talk to yourself. I mean, hell, I don't know. I talk to myself all the time. So do that, look it through, whatever. So I was at Mazda. I had done all the mock number things. They said I was good to go. My credit score was perfect. I pulled perfect. And we decided on a lease through Mazda because financing, I would be looking at almost double my payment. Because with financing, you're paying the full $35,000. Let's say your vehicle's $35,000. You're paying that $35,000. For 72 months, you have to pay back that $35,000. With a lease, you're only paying a small portion, usually about 50%. That's a lot more details. I don't know if I really need to get into that. So, for example, you'd be, let's say it's $35,000, you'd be paying about $17,000 of the vehicle. So it's like you're only financing $17,000. Does that make sense? So, and that has to do with residual, and every dealership is different. Every dealership, like Ford has a really low residual compared to Mazda has a really high residual. So, for example, for Mazda, even though the vehicles are the same price, Mazda is going to be a lot cheaper because their residual value, when you turn it back in, how much that car is worth a lot more than when you turn back in the Ford. The Ford will be worth way less because Ford is like a revolving door. People are always buying Fords. Mazda doesn't sell as much as Ford and Jeep and Dodge and places like that. Again, research residual value, research APR, just do your research, okay? Because I could really tell you guys everything, but I'm trying to make this video straight to the point. So, I decided on a lease because I knew I could not afford a finance, and SUVs are very expensive. So we go into Mazda, they tell me, over the phone, they told me I'm good to go because the Mazda we were looking at was almost like an hour drive. So they told me I'm good to go. They said, come in, we're going to do this today, whatever. My hopes went ping, like I was like, yes, I'm about to buy a car today, I'm ready, let's do this, whatever. So the lady I was working with was super nice. Her name was Valentina. She was real young, real pretty. Super nice. We were working with her for almost weeks, and she was texting and everything. So we go in, sign the papers, we pick a car. It was everything I ever wanted in a vehicle. Literally everything. It had navigation. It had backup camera, power seats, sunroof, leather seats for like $29,000. And I would only be paying like $12,000 of that. Like, what? Excuse me? I was ecstatic. I was so happy. We signed the papers. My mom co-signs for me. They bring it back. Valentina comes back and she says, you got declined. You got denied. I said, like, my heart dropped because my dad told me, don't get your hopes up. When they bring that paper back there is when things go bad. And he told me that. But I'm like, no, nothing can go wrong. This is great. I'm excited. I'm like, turning pink and stuff. I'm so excited, right? She tells us, sorry, too bad, so sad. I said, but why? Like, what happened? So Chase Bank is who Mazda goes through, and if you Google Chase Bank Mazda financing, supposedly it is a very difficult bank to get into. So the problem was we got denied because my mom is already the main signer on her vehicle and a co-signer on another vehicle that we own. So we got denied because my mom already had too many things on her name. But the funny thing was, my dad is the main signer on the vehicle, my mom's the co-signer, and he's the co-signer on the vehicle, my mom's the main signer. So then my sister is a co-signer on 2 vehicles. So it just was never going to work for me. So we go home that night. I'm literally crying because I'm like, I don't understand. I thought we were good. My dad's like, Becca, we're going to go back out tomorrow and we're going to get you a car. I know we will. And he's a very positive and he's very smart when it comes to things like this. So he was very helpful through the whole situation. Oh, it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Ooh. It's also my sister's birthday on Father's Day, so it's like really awkward because like, how do you celebrate 2 things at one time? So he was like, Becca, we're gonna find you a vehicle. Stop crying, clean your face up, it's okay. But I was just upset because I'm like, you know, I've been trying so hard. I've been doing everything right. I've passed all my school classes. I've got a job. I've been paying my bills. I have a credit card. I'm doing everything. Why can't this work out? I literally thought the world was against me for like a day. I was like, I don't understand. I've done everything I need to do. So the next day we went out. We went to Ford. We got numbers again. We went to Jeep. We went here. We went there. Finally, we went to a dealership who we have actually bought almost all of our vehicles from. My dad worked there when he was like 17. We've actually bought over like 10 vehicles from this dealership. And somehow we always end up back there. And it's just because, you know, things just work out certain places. Some things are just meant to be. So we go there. I'm nervous. I've already got in my head that's not going to work because I got my hopes up with Mazda and I was like, I'm not doing that again. I'm in my head. I'm like, this isn't going to happen. I'm going home empty-handed. And it was really funny because at first they told me no. They were like, we don't think we can get you into a lease. We could probably find... Leasing is very difficult. Leasing is more for older people. They want more trustworthy people for leases because leases, it's different with your auto insurance, and insurance is more expensive on a lease, guys, so keep that in mind. Also, another thing I just thought of, when you're looking at vehicles, call your insurance company and get mock numbers on your insurance because, like, for example, Jeeps are considered luxury. Mazdas are imported and luxury, so I was looking at almost $200 a month for Mazda insurance. Right, so definitely check out insurance because some places are like crazy. So, bottom of the story, I looked for 8 months. I was down in the gutter. I was upset. I thought it was never going to work out for me. I thought I was going to be 23 years old. I'm only 19, so I was being dramatic. I thought I was going to be 23 years old driving my parents' car still. I thought it was never going to happen. And then it happened. I was excited. They got me the deal. They got me the price. They got me the vehicle I always dreamed of. The Jeep Grand Cherokee was my dream vehicle. I had been looking at it since day one, but they are very expensive, so I never thought it was possible. So I guess moral of my story is, if you're doing what you're supposed to do and you keep an open mind, things will work out for you. Like, I try to be very positive, but sometimes you just get frustrated. Sometimes you just really get upset. But, you know, things will work out, and when the time is right, it will happen. So I truly believe that I'm not very spiritual, and I don't really like to speak about things like this on my channel, but I really do believe that God was telling me the Mazda was not meant for me, that there was something better out there, that there was something else he wanted me to have, and so he denied me. He might have hurt my feelings a little bit, but I ended up getting my dream vehicle, like my dream car of all time, which I know is weird. Most people are like, dream of like G-Wagons and this, and I'm like, no, I want a Jeep. So yeah, guys, if you have any other questions, please comment them. I always reply. If you have a question about anything I've talked about in either of these 2 videos, please ask me. I will reply. If you don't want to comment it, you can follow me on Instagram and direct message me, and I will reply. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful to everybody. I hope. Maybe it'll help older people, younger people. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow my social media. It's always linked down below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.